Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is an absolutely massive day for Newcastle United fans. This is a big match for us Newcastle United fans. This is the first time that Newcastle United have been in the semi-finals since 2005, 18 years ago. Of course, this will be the first time as well that Newcastle will have a chance to make the final since 24 years ago, back in 1999, when Newcastle took on treble chasing Manchester United in the final at Wembley, of course, and in 2005 was also Manchester United in the semi-final. This, of course, is a massive game. Newcastle, of course, will go into this one with a pretty massive squad of players to choose from. Eddie Howe is going to have a really good full strength side. We've got the likes of Isak, Bruno, Wilson, Big Joe, Maxi, Almiron. The list goes on of names that can play in this game tonight against Southampton down at St Mary's. Of course, it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be live on Sky Sports. Nottingham Forest and Man United take on each other tomorrow night live on Sky Sports. Again, another 8 o'clock kickoff. But there's 3,200 Newcastle fans travelling down there. I'm sure there'll be more in the home end of Southampton's St Mary's as well, whether they like it or not. I'm sure there'll be Newcastle fans in there. There always is. Because, nobody is stopping Newcastle fans getting to this. This is a massive occasion for our club. This will be the first time as well that Newcastle have played in a competitive two-legged cup tie since, of course, our elimination from the Europa League back in 2013 under the hands of course, Benfica, where we lost 3-1 away and then a 1-1 at home. In terms of the League Cup, however, the most recent two-legged tie, and that was a second round victory over Leyton Orient back in 2000, when Newcastle won 2-0 in the home tie and then a 1-1 in the away tie. Looking at the stats going into this, of course, for the League Cup, this is only the second time that Newcastle have reached the last four of this competition. Gordon Lee's side, of course, being the ones to beat Spurs back in 1976 to say we make it to the final against Manchester City. Of course, we lost 1-0 to Spurs in the first leg at White Hart Lane, taking it to St James's Park, where we won 3-1 in the second leg. Of course, to see Newcastle go through with goals from Alan Gowland, Glenn Keeley, and of course Jeff Nolte scoring the goals. Spurs grabbing a one late on at the back. The only previous meeting of the two sides for Southampton and Newcastle in the League Cup went the way of Southampton, of course, in a 4-1 winner game in the third round tie of course, the League Cup back in 1968, so before my time on that one. And the Saints and Newcastle have played against each other in other previously two-legged competitions, of course, with Newcastle winning on away goals in the Fairs Cup in 69-70 season, and emerging triumphant in the Texaco Cup final in 1974-75. But this is, like I say, an absolutely massive time for Newcastle, a massive chance for Newcastle as well, looking at the other teams that are still left in the competition. You've got Southampton, who will take on tonight. If we were to make it through to the final, there's a possibility of playing against Nottingham Forest or Manchester United. If it was, of course, Nottingham Forest, then I would be betting on Newcastle all day to win that one. No disrespect, of course, in that to Nottingham Forest, because they've done well to make it this far. But looking at the way Newcastle's route has come to make it to the semis, it's been a difficult one. Southampton have had a pretty easy way of it to make it here, bar one game where they had to take on Manchester City at St Mary's. But looking at Newcastle's, there's three Premier League teams in there, and they're no slouches neither. You've got Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Leicester. Three really good established Premier League teams. In Bournemouth, of course, newly promoted side, but still established, because we'll remember how they were under Eddie Howe. Still sort of got that, foundation in there from the Eddie Howe period at Bournemouth as well. So looking at it, our route has been a lot tougher to make it to the final than what to make it to the semi-final, sorry, and to what Southampton's has been. So looking at it, of course, you've got Tranmere Rovers in the third round for us, where we won 2-1. A very dirty game that was really bad by Tranmere Rovers. They were just hacking into Newcastle players right, left, and centre. Fourth round, of course, we took on Crystal Palace at St James's Park. It was a 0-0 draw, winning it 3-2. Of course, we did on penalties. Fifth round tie, seen we take on Bournemouth again at St James's Park, winning 1-0 in the game. And of course, the quarter-final tie, seen Newcastle take on Leicester City at St James's Park. That were only just playing them in the Premier League. And Newcastle come away 2-0 winners in the game. Dan Burn scoring his first goal for Newcastle United at the Gallagher end. I mean, that's just what Geordie dreams are made of. You know, everybody dreams of scoring for Newcastle United, and at the Gallagher end is absolutely fantastic place to score. So I was really chuffed to bits for Dan Burn to get his first goal and at the Gallagher end as well. And then, of course, you know, the goal to wrap up the game was Big Joe Linton scoring an absolutely fantastic finish past Leicester's goalkeeper. Looking at Southampton's route to the semis, they had a slightly easier one, bar that Man City game, of course. But we'll get on to that a little bit in this video. Their third round tie was Cambridge at Cambridge's ground, with Southampton coming away 3-0 winners in the game. Their fourth round tie was Sheffield Wednesday, with it being a 1-1 draw and them winning 6-5 on penalties. Then the fifth round tie was Lincoln City, where they won 2-1 against Lincoln City at St Mary's. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday one was at St Mary's as well. And the Manchester City one in the quarter-final was also at St Mary's. So out of the both routes to the semis, of course, we've played 3 home games each and an away game each in our route to the semis. The Man City one, like I say, it was a little bit of a dodgy one, that one. I watched it, and I've got to say, Man City didn't go with a full first team against Southampton, but they did then bring their first team players off of the bench. But by that point, it was pretty much game over for Pep Guardiola's side. So, you know, that seen Southampton make it through into this game. And at the end of the day, you know, looking at it, Southampton do have a very tough schedule ahead. They're currently in the relegation zone, still dead bottom of the Premier League. They've just lost 1-0 at home on Saturday, gone to Aston Villa, you know, which keeps them dead bottom of the Premier League. And they've got a fourth round FA Cup game coming up against Blackpool as well, sandwiched between these two fixtures. It's St Mary's and St James's Park for this League Cup competition. And, you know, we don't, thankfully, because we went out of the FA Cup in the third round tie. Now, a lot of Newcastle fans were complaining that we went out in the third round to Sheffield Wednesday. In a way, if you look at it, you know, it's worked out because Newcastle's went out. It allows what to have a break. Now, I've talked about this already on the channel, but it allows what to have a break when Southampton's got to take on Blackpool before, of course, we're going to that second leg of the semi-finals against Southampton at St James's Park. It's going to be an interesting game tonight, 8 o'clock kickoff. The ref going into this one, of course, is none other than Stuart Atwell. He's already presided over a Newcastle game this season, and it was the 4-1 win at St Mary's in the Premier League. So maybe that's a good omen. On VAR is none other than Andre Mariner, who will be doing VAR duties for the game. But this is a massive game. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see how Eddie lines the squad up tonight. And like I say, the last time Newcastle were in a semi-final was 18 years ago. That is absolutely crazy, and I just can't wait to see, you know, Newcastle playing in the semi-final tonight. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The atmosphere is going to be fantastic, and we fully deserve to make it through to the finals. But may the best team win on the night. Any Southampton fans that are watching, let us know your thoughts, of course, down in the comments below going into this one. And till next time, I'll see you all later. I'm going to go for Newcastle to come away from this one 1-0 winners in the game. I think that would be a nice scoreline. It would be brilliant to come away with the similar result to what we did in the Premier League. I'm not going to lie, but just get the job done, get the 1-0. Let's make it into that second leg. Of course, let's go into that second leg at St James's Park, and then we can score as many as we want there under the lights at St James's. Till next time, I'll see you all there. And remember, hit that like, share, subscribe, and anybody that is travelling down to the game, take it easy, and of course, enjoy yourselves. And of course, any Southampton fans that are watching, may the best team win. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and however.